Andrea and Debbi from Inevitably Progress Conversations around the NDIS. I'm trying to get my audio working, but life happens as well, and it is winter and we're recording in the park.
And I'm feeling cold this morning. It's not overly cold, but I think yesterday it was just so cold that I kind of was like, ooh. Still carrying it.
Was that like yesterday? Yeah. You know, I can't remember whether I was at work yesterday. Yes, I was.
Short-term memory loss?
I think just tired and
just busy. Just
tired
things.
And busy. And
you know what? I'm so tired of life being so busy. And all of a sudden, we're in July. Like, how did that happen? Well, seriously,
we hit pause, and that was Easter on us, and then it's July already.
I know. I think March, April, and May were paused. We had 3 months that just disappeared. Woof, gone
into the ether, essentially.
Yeah.
And so it's been an interesting ride. So for you, support coordination and life update. So because there's a lot of changes, and I did do a live earlier saying that NDIS, which is the National Disability Insurance Scheme, it's an Australian-based care scheme for people with disabilities. But what is happening with support coordination and stuff like that? Because there's a lot of change.
Well, it looked like it had paused. They were talking about turning support coordination into navigators and basically taking support coordination out of the plans, which I believe was a way of them being able to eliminate funding out of plans to say, look at us, look what we've done. We've reduced our funding losses, blah blah blah, because they were going to feed it through Department of Social Services.
Yes.
Now, half of the people, we've got 751,000 people on the scheme, and that sounds a lot. We've got 27 million in the country. It sounds like a lot, but it's a percentage. Half of those people have got support coordination in their plans. Now, there's a reason for that. It's because they're so bloody hard to read. They're so hard to deal with, so hard to manage. And working out your funding now, with the funding periods that they've introduced, it's gotten even harder.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a SIL, which is a supported independent living, their funding periods are monthly. If you've
monthly?
Yes, monthly. If you've got community access, funding periods are quarterly. If you've got allied health, some of that may be front-loaded, which comes through to start with, especially if you've got an assessment that you need to have done. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, that can be spread either monthly or quarterly, generally quarterly. So with support coordination, there was talk about having navigators come in. Now, that all seemed to pause.
Yeah.
With all the drama with, the SILs having to be registered and platform providers having to be registered, and platform provider being the likes of a third party where the participant can pay an amount to them and have them help find support workers, and the support workers pay an amount to them.
And generally they are independent support workers, not agency.
Yes, they are.
And there's a difference between true independence and where am I going with this? And platform providers. The platform provides your insurance and everything, where an independent has to have their own insurance, liability, and everything.
It's not expensive, seriously.
No.
You can get it through BizCover and a couple of the others. I mean, of course, the insurance companies have jumped on that. So, you can get your insurance reasonably costed. So, and of course, we've got a new price catalogue coming through, which hasn't come through yet, actually. The
Excel got my sound happening.
Oh, the Excel spreadsheet has not come through yet with the price catalogue for 26-27, but a guide has come out with an idea on what was adjusted.
And guys, again, if you're affected, go to your local member of parliament and stuff like that, because when you read it, there's it looks like someone uploaded a draft because there's line
I know,
items.
yes.
There's missing line
very
items
different.
and very
Yes.
different, and it does not seem as polished as the other ones as well. And
No,
in fact,
the guide's not, I don't think that's, I mean, when we get our Excel spreadsheet through with everything on it, we'll be able to check and see what has actually happened.
yeah,
They've put it out as being these are the new price changes for support workers. Now, they've got support worker level 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, how they're defining that and how they're sorting that out, I don't know. Maybe they're using the SHADS award for that. Who knows what they're doing? It is the NDIS.
I think it is the SHADS award because there was a lot of people getting paid under the old home care award when they should have been paid under
Well,
SHADS.
yeah. In Brisbane, I know that they're doing that a lot. All the SIL houses down there, they're paying under the home care award, not the disability support worker award. Like it is still within the SHADS, but they're using the home care award, which is like $10 less easily.
And now for our international viewers, SHADS is, and we have in Australia we have a minimum wage and award for most
of the
industries, and even even independent support workers, you have to pay by the price guide or the SHADS as well.
As a minimum.
You can negotiate as well, depending on the duties they're doing as well.
Yes.
So,
And that's, I think, where they're coming in with these levels because, you've got a support worker that's has got a Certificate 3, you've got Certificate 4 and diploma support workers. And, of course, they're at different levels. And when you stay with a business, you'll go up by levels each year. Within that level, there might be a level 2.1 is usually where they start. And then they'll be 2.2 the next year when they're in the second year of work. And if you get your Cert 4, you would go up in levels. So they're the things that need to be looked at and considered. But yes, I see that I saw...
And all your certificates are worth doing, and they're around safeguarding as well.
Of course. I mean, if you haven't got a Cert 3, what the hell are you doing in the industry? Why are you there? Like, you just... it's just wrong. Like, you should have some kind of qualification. These are vulnerable people, for goodness sake. It's like working with kids. There should be, and there is now, you have to have a Cert 3 or be training in a Cert 3, registered, as doing a Cert 3 in order to... That's your base level, entry level. And so where is our entry level for the NDIS? Where is the entry level there for our people with disabilities? Like, seriously, get off your butts, get your bloody Cert 3 done as a start. And the Cert 3 is rubbish still. It needs to be reviewed. There's no medication module in there. If you're walking into a SIL house, you're going to be
doing meds.
Not working out what medication they should be or anything like that, but you are taking those meds out of a web pack. You have to make sure that you know the 5 R's, isn't there? The right route, the right...
Seven.
Go through them. Away you go, girl.
Oh, you go on to pop quiz. So, right person, right time, right route, right medication.
Yes.
Right documentation, right to refuse. And also now, that's in general pharmacy, hospital, any community setting. There's also now right documentation, but also right clinical appropriate usage. And also, this is something I'm throwing Debbie under the bus here, that if you're a support worker, remember, even if you're saying, oh, have you tried this medication, you're out of your lane. You are not. You are a community professional.
Don't do diagnosis, no.
Don't do diagnosis, don't discuss medication. Okay, if you see someone has that, I would say the only exception is PRN, pain medication, like you have to go to Nurofen.
Well, there is a process for that.
Yeah.
If you're in community and they can self-administer, that's a whole different thing. But if you're in a supported independent living house, generally, with any PRN, you have to ring on-call or the office and let them know that the participant has asked for this. They will ask you questions. They'll want to know why they've asked for it. When was the last time they had any? how many, what's the recommended dose, blah, blah, blah. And they'll go through all of those questions with you. And that's the appropriate thing to do.
It is.
To have all that, done properly. It's very important. You're covering your butt as well. Don't forget that.
And one of our friends of the show asked us to point out again and again and again that documentation matters as well. And if there's
everything, all that medication has to be signed off.
Medication, behaviours, even if you don't think it's the behaviour, just
note it in your case
note
notes.
It as well, and do. Debbi and I have been saying this since the beginning, since we started the podcast, or since she's come on board. Document as if there's going to be a lawsuit in 5 years' time. HALT framework, which is where they what caused it, which is basically HALT started out in addiction, where you're hungry, where you're angry, HAL, lonely, HAL, tired, and HALT, time. And what time was it? So was there a trigger? Was it an anniversary of something happening as well? What's happened is, and hungry might not be physically hungry, it might be again that hungry for connection, loneliness, and again and shout out to the late Dave Schellenberger over at Open Futures Learning. I think we've linked it below. He says also, do not say to the client that you're a friend. You are not, because that sets the next support worker up. If you were to leave,
it creates an expectation that is not suitable for the industry, because, and this is what happens a lot with private support workers, and I've seen it with support workers in companies as well.
Mm-hmm.
They get themselves wrapped up in the participant and the family, and then they're full on influencing. And they don't even realise they're doing it. But they do it. They do it. But some do, and then they drag them out of that company, and then make them even more vulnerable, because if you're their only support worker, hello, Nicole, what was her name? Nicole Smith? The one that was, I
don't know.
The one that was in, or was it Mary Smith, down in Victoria?
Oh, I'm not
the one
sure,
that only had one support worker. And she was tied to a chair. She was not fed properly. She actually died in that chair.
Yeah.
Like these things, you make yourself very vulnerable if you've only got one private support worker, and you've got to be so careful.
And that's where having, would you say having one or two? And this is why you've said from the beginning, have your day service and your community access separate.
Absolutely. It's accountability. And whether you've got private workers as your community access and you're living in a SIL,
not everyone,
that's fine. You can do that.
Yeah, and not everyone does a day service. Some may work. It might be
right.
quilting. It might be.
They might have other activities that they do. They might go to the women's shed and do stuff over there. There's, they might go to a community group.
Work
and their support workers taking them, and that's a good thing.
And might work in the open market as well, like myself, or even ADEs. And for our international viewers, ADEs is, in the old language, a sheltered workshop, Australian Disability Enterprise as well.
Not too many of them left either.
No, but I think they are trying to get people out into the open market.
Yeah, they are. But the thing is, they first started that, and I had a couple of participants back then when they first started that. Would have been in 22 when they really introduced that, and 21, 22.
Was that when they changed the awards for ADEs?
No, not at that stage. They hadn't done that. But we had someone that we were trying to get into a private industry, and the NDIS workers, the NDIS planner said, "Oh no, we won't have a support worker help him with that, because no, if he's in an ADE we can help with that, but not otherwise." And it's like, no, this is the thing. Your planners aren't always up to date with what's going on, and it's very difficult to stay up to date with the NDIS. I must admit, they're doing strange things all the time. And there's a lot of internal decisions that no one knows about until you fall over it.
And again, that's where one of our Queensland advocates' favourite phrase is, okay, can you show me where that is in the legislation, and watch them change the decision quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
As well. So now also, we're just going to touch on this for a minute because I want to know your thoughts on this as a support coordinator. And it ties into our previous episode on media literacy.
Yeah.
Is over on TikTok, there's been a bit of a drama on Book Talk, which is all the Book Talk girlies reviewing books and stuff like that. Good on them.
Yeah.
Readers.
Yep.
There was a lady saying that it's ableist to put big words in novels, so young adult, so YA, which is young adult literature type of thing in the fandoms, and so your spin-offs of like Harry Potter, Shadowhunters, Twilight. Can we actually get from you, who is in the disability industry, what ableism actually means? Because I don't think this person actually knows what ableism means. Because if you have access to TikTok and can make a TikTok, wouldn't you have access to Google to be able to look up?
Well, absolutely, and that's your first thing to do, and to look at,
or a
you
dictionary?
know, before you even start to sprout that, you've got to have an idea on where you're at with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's really important
Like,
to
we're
make
not
sure
criticising.
that. That's right.
I am going somewhere with this. No, but you go. You know where the words mean. What the words mean. Yeah.
Ableism.
What is the definition?
Yeah. See, she's put me on the spot.
We will take that on notice, but it is I actually know. I actually know. So it
now I feel
is,
really embarrassed and horrible.
Discrimination against disabled people in either society, workplace, or general community.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's why I don't know it, because I don't do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's just not in my vocab, Andrea.
Which is a good thing.
It's not in my vocab. No. I just believe that everybody, regardless of how bad the disability may be affecting them, there is a person in there, and it's just finding a way to connect with that person and get, you know, and find that connection and look, you know, people say no, non-verbal people can't. Oh well, you know, they're stupid, they can't talk, blah blah blah. What crap is that?
There's actually a really good show on Disney called Out of My Mind that discusses that, and it's really good. But we've said from the beginning, just because they're non-verbal doesn't mean they have nothing to say. Behaviour
doesn't mean they can't hear you as well. Don't think because they don't speak they're deaf as well. Seriously, I have heard some support workers say some horrible things around non-verbal people,
and remember,
and it's just been like, are you serious?
And remember, if they have an AEC, whether that's a electronic one, a smartphone, whether that's an iPad,
it doesn't matter. You just don't treat them like that.
No,
it's just not right. You don't do it.
And especially if because you don't know their behaviours. They might be sitting next to the person you're talking about and throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that, guys?
You just don't do it. You just don't do it. And look, to be honest, I love to work with non-verbal people because I love to work out how to make that connection. It's like,
it's beautiful to see the connections happening.
It's like a thing to find out how we can get this to work. How can we, is it a visual thing? Is it touch? Is it, with gestures? How, facial expressions? What is it that makes it work for you?
And it might be supported sign, Auslan, whatever.
Yeah.
I think for sign language it's Auslan in Australia, not supported.
Yeah, Makaton. I think Makaton was. I think Makaton's American.
Yeah.
But we did have Makaton here as well. But Auslan is the main one here in Australia now.
Yeah.
But there are still some Makaton users around that have kind of mixed up the Auslan across it. It's
deaf culture, and signing culture is its own culture as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and so life update with the business, it's all up in the air because of everything up
but
in the
I'm
air.
still pushing forward, and look, we're looking at taking on another support coordinator.
Yeah.
But finding the right support coordinator, because maybe I don't know, maybe I'm eccentric in the way I am and the way I think, and my colleague gets in there and fights for people as well. Maybe
that is the role of a support coordinator.
Absolutely.
It's not just on the paperwork and
making the connection.
That's the start, but then it's the ongoing fighting for the funding, keeping those connections going.
Making sure that things are being done properly, and that we're getting the results that we're looking for that person.
And if you're not getting the results, looking at why, do they need more scaffolding? I hate to say it, but is that goal out of reach? So this is where I want to point out that
often, but sometimes families make goals for people, and they have very high expectations that put a lot of pressure on people, and you've got to watch that a little bit too. I mean, yes, it's good to be able to extend people, but be careful not to pressurise them too much. It's like our kids. Look, we have so many kids that are absolutely pushed by parents. To a breaking point, and we don't want to do that. There's no need to do that.
And then school holidays over here, so have them time and space to let them be as kids.
But our parents that run them around like every afternoon, they're doing boxing, they're doing taekwondo, they're doing tennis, they're doing dance, they're doing this, they're doing that. How much do they really want to do? Ask them the question. What do you really want to do?
Space to be a kid, to connect outside of those activities. And Australia is deliberately rebuilding the third spaces, so like the malls and the community libraries, because we have had the social media ban. I know a lot of people have found ways to get around that. That's a whole other podcast. We probably need to invite the social gamer back on, or someone from Cicada Solvers to have a lot of that one as well.
I just think even having phones, like kids have got phones, and like you'll see them in the trolleys, and they're sitting up in the trolley doing this with their parents' phone.
And that's a learning opportunity. I remember that when I was younger or a child, that mum would give us a list, and however,
I'm talking littlies though. Like, we're talking 18 months, 2-year-olds.
Point out the colours in the packets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you're missing these learning opportunities.
There's lots of things,
but
and just taking electronics and just putting the electronics down even over dinner. Like it's just how many people go out for dinner with other people, and they're constantly on their phone texting someone else, and they're out for dinner with you.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell? You either want to be out for dinner, or you want to sit at home on your bum and text your friend or your other people, or get on TikTok or whatever you're doing. If you want that, don't have friends that you want to go out with.
I can understand if it's hey, I want to show you this TikTok that I've got saved. That's probably the only thing.
But not when you're out for dinner with people.
But if you're showing the person...
No.
Okay.
That can be... Dinner is for conversations about what's going on in people's lives now. Not, oh, look at this. I mean, I must admit, there's times when I do... I get on... I'm not a TikToker, see. I'm not a WhatsApper or a Snapchatter. I do Facebook. I'm very boring. Very old-fashioned. But... and pretty much all I do is look at Marketplace, or have a look at the reels, and maybe flick the odd reels around if I find them funny.
However, the reels were probably Instagram and TikTok.
Possibly.
Or YouTube shows.
But they're on Facebook.
Yeah. But no, but we were veering. We were saying you with the business that you are fighting. So
look,
you're still building
we don't know
the
where we're
business.
going. We don't know where we're going. So look, we'll just continue on until they say support coordination is no longer.
And I will link down below our Keep Calm and Carry On podcast, our What to Be Aware Of, and our media literacy episode, because I think media literacy and literacy has become a crisis. And if you notice this kind of behaviour and you're a support worker, there's a massive learning opportunity. Take them down to the local library. Library, like in Australia, if you have literacy issues as a adult, we will literally pay you to go and become literate. We have the reading learning.
Look, I got to grade 10, and that was in 1980. I'm doxing myself here. 1982.
Yes.
Was year 10. It's a little while ago. So, I mean, what they're learning now, like I couldn't help my kids after grade 5 with homework. I couldn't do it because everything they were doing was different to how we learned it. It was, and it's probably all changed again since then.
Well, we are going back in Australia to what they call explicit teaching in English, because whole language learning has been proven to not work. And explicit teaching is like your phonics, your context clues, you're looking it up, you're learning how to use a dictionary, a thesaurus.
So an encyclopedia? What is that? A whole thing of encyclopedias sitting on the bookshelf?
And explicit teaching, I just thought was called teaching. It's essentially where you have talk and chalk, like it's on the board.
Yeah. But the problem is
it goes through and then you teach it.
Yeah.
And you check in with the students. But I
would be interested to know in Britain and America what their kind of teaching curriculum is for their kids, because I mean we pretty much push them through. The teachers have got a curriculum that they have to do, and if the kids lose track of it, well, that's too bad. You'll have to catch up. They won't, they don't like to hold them back if they haven't done well in a year level. They don't like to hold them back. They push them up because they need this social thing with their peers, but they have fallen through the cracks. And our problem is we're getting to a stage where we're getting into that 13 to 18-year-old range, and these kids are so disenchanted with school and everything else. This is why they're out in the streets doing what they're doing.
And that it used to be year 10 in Australia. You could, as long as you had something to go to, whether it was a trade or a job, you could. It was the earning or learning. You could either head off to TAFE, night school, trade, or retail, or have I think they were just starting in my generation a school-based traineeship as well.
Oh, yeah.
And USA, there's a Joanna who is Unlearn64, goes into that on TikTok if you're interested. USA, No Child Left Behind. This is the consequences of No Child Left Behind.
Yes.
It is.
It would be interesting to have a look at that, the British system and the American system. I mean, obviously, both countries have issues. And we have issues with that age range as well, where we've got these kids that just don't fit in. They just don't fit
into the academics. The
sit down, shut up, do as you're told thing, because they don't learn that way.
No.
And I think we're still on this sit down, shut up and listen thing, and we don't. And most people don't learn that way. Most people are visual learners,
visual or hands-on. And we're like I know in our part of the world we've got two what we call alternative schools. One is private, run by Catholic diocese, and one is state. One of our mayors back in the day had to really fight for one of the alternative schools. Like it was a 2-building thing that was essentially done as a giving back to the community by one of the gas and oil companies. Now it's a massive complex with intergenerational hubs, mentoring, and this mayor was literally run out of town because she saw that education was an issue in Toowoomba and was like, no, let's give the kids something to do, let's give them job opportunities into the council. I won't talk to myself in who that is because there's some issues coming up around that will hit federal government soon as well. And also...
Not that they care because it's state-run, the education's state-run.
Oh,
well, anyway, we've totally gone off
a rail.
I know. I'm trying not to be a cranky bear, but I'm a bit of a cranky bear because...
Well, why are you a cranky bear? Let's go there.
We've had some plans come through that are just absolute bloody rubbish, and we're going to have to go do the internal review, which is a process that'll take 3 months, to get an answer that says, no, we decided that that's the right decision, and then we're going to have to go into tribunal. We can see that coming.
Yep.
And it's just like, but they've got all the information. They're just not reading it. They are not reading it. They're not comprehending it. I don't know. David and I have talked about possibility of going into our affiliate with the NDIS.
Yeah.
Or actually applying to the NDIS to be planners, but then I don't think I'll go sit on the other side where I've had a senior delegate scratch my plan that I've developed for someone and totally destroy it, and then say to me, well, you have to go back to the family and explain that to them now.
Yeah.
And, you know, and like I've had planners, they know that the plan's not right. And it's like, well, you know that you can do an internal review. Like they're pretty much agreeing that we've got some major problems and stuff going on here, but it's not being addressed. And because of the delays, you see, well, we've got all these delays happening. What do we do in the meantime? How do we help people that have had their plans smashed to bits?
And we have some cases where it has resulted in major harm, hospitalisation, and that is the reverse of what the NDIS was supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am sick of people with disabilities being treated like rubbish. Sick of them being treated like second-class citizens. And
I think
if they, for those genuine people that need the assistance, they should have the assistance. But then I was down on the weekend with my sister and brother-in-law. My brother-in-law had a major stroke at 67, and of course that excludes him from NDIS. He now has a aged care package, which is he's been classed as a severe level 8, which is the highest level. And he has a package of 87,000, and then they got 15,000 for home mods and 15,000 for equipment on top of that. So, he's looking at, 117,000.
Yeah.
So, and yet I've got people that have got packages of 500,000 for the year.
Yeah.
And, and I look at that and I go, I can see, and I will predict this is going to happen if we continue on with the level of idiocy that's going on. This is what's going to happen as our NDIS people turn 65. They're going to be transferred to aged care. And it will not be this cohort that are going through now. It will be in another 10 years. It'll start to happen. And then, and it'll be expected that there's co-payments, which is what's happening in aged care now. There's co-payments.
I wonder if our retirement villages will go to long-term living facilities that have to accept all ages, because I wonder if NDIS My Aged Care will roll into one department.
Well, that's what they've been fighting to get younger people out of nursing homes and stuff. And the idea was, now this was back in, was that in 22, 23? Yeah. They said that all the anyone in a nursing home that was under nursing home age was to come out, and they're still in the process of that. So, we've got people that are, in their 30s and 40s in nursing homes because there was no other facilities. Now, they've been gradually coming out of the nursing homes and coming into SIL facilities and things like that. So that brings us into the next one, which is the SIL versus group homes.
Yeah, you've always said that. I've always maintained that they're not an institution. You've put back, so this is your chance to go. Well, no,
they're not a SIL home, a supported independent living home. It's not meant to be an institution, but we have gone from group homes that people determine as, say, are institution. Well, what's an institution? An institution is something where the routine has been institutionalised to a point that should someone come out, like jail, should someone come out, their expectation is that breakfast is at 7, lunch is at 12, dinner's at 4:30. That's institutionalising. Where you have a point where they are not able to go out, they can't do things, that everything's so rigidly routined. Now, I have seen SIL homes that have become like that. It has been very rigidly routined. And for people with autism, how the hell are you going to teach them resilience if you rigidly routine everything? Because all that does, it just makes life easier for the support worker. It doesn't develop resilience in those people. And we know that there's issues with that. We know that, there's sometimes we can get the aggression with that because things aren't going to plan. And it takes a long time to move that around.
Yes.
And it's not about timing and things like that. And that's what institutionalisation is. It's when you've got everything rigidly timed, and I've seen it in SILs.
And there's no choice and control.
That's right. And not all SILs are like that.
No.
But also my concern with SILs is that we've gone from 2 or 3 support workers who are accountable to each other for what they do in that SIL, whether it be, in helping the participants with household tasks, cooking, showering, all the rest of it.
Might be like uni or TAFE homework.
Yeah,
like I'm not
like
talking about doing them for and then sitting down going, hey, you've got an assignment due.
Yeah, that's right.
While you're watching Netflix.
And the accountability between the support workers is there because they are working together with the people. However, when you get down to 3 people in a home and you have one single support worker there for 8 hours or 6 hours every day, it's good to have consistency, and I believe in consistency, and we do have consistency with how they're managing people and things like that, but there is a problem with familiarity. That's the bugbear, and that's where you can get really tangled and cross those lines. Those professional boundaries get blurred, and we become. That's where this friend thing comes in.
Oh yes,
we're your friend.
Don't, because you're a professional, and if you're setting that person up for,
you set them up for failure because what if you move away? What if your husband goes, oh, we're going to move over to the coast and I've got a job over there, we're moving.
And
they lose you, bang, just like that.
And they are grieving for the loss of a potential
They do go
friendship.
through a grief period, absolutely
and
they do.
Even if they do know it was a support worker, and that they are comparing you to the old support worker, grieving.
There is a danger. There is an absolute danger, but there is also the danger of...
Go for it.
There's also the danger of abuse.
And with
support workers that are just there for the money. They don't care whether they get fed on time or their meds are on time or whatever happens. Now, this isn't everybody, and don't jump up and down.
We need to be very clear that this is a minority.
Yeah, so don't go jumping up and down.
Safeguarding is becoming such an issue.
That's right, and the reason that the Safeguarding Commission has become involved is because this is happening. And it's clear. We've seen it in social media. We know that social media and the media in general will make mountains out of molehills to make to get clicks and to get views and all this kind of rubbish. Yeah. But in reality, there is stuff happening out there.
There is.
So and this is where when you're a support worker in a SIL home, and the participants are saying to you, I don't like such and such didn't feed me properly last night, or whatever. The thing is too, we've got to be a little careful here because participants can manipulate. They're very cunning. They can be manipulative. They can lie, and you need to monitor that over a little bit of time before you make a decision whether to take that forward to management.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is a matter of management stepping in and talking to the participant and saying, hey, we've checked this and this didn't happen. But how do we know that didn't happen?
And again, support workers do your notes, what they had, where you were at.
But then, we've had support workers writing that they had a chicken and bread roll salad dinner and they had KFC. Like, hello? Because you've got lettuce and you've got a bread roll and you've got a chicken fillet and you've got potato.
But isn't yeah.
See? So it's
Yeah,
just like...
it's like, and be honest in your notes. That's
Wow.
the other thing. Be honest
Yeah.
about what happened. And look, support workers are human. You're going to make mistakes. It's how you deal with it, how you learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, a lot of new support workers are walking into still houses and walking into companies and going, I know everything. No, you don't. You haven't worked with these clients before. You don't know anything about them.
And that's the thing of, like, I've got to be very careful here. But if you've worked with one person with a disability, you've worked with one person with a disability. We are not a monolith.
No, everybody's different. Everybody does different things. You can have 6 autistic people or 6 Down syndrome people in front of you, and every one of them has a different personality and does different things and has different behaviours.
And different backstories, different upbringing.
And different foods that they eat. You know, right down to, you know, it's
and even
everybody
cultural...
is an individual and they have to be treated as such. And it's a big job, and I think a lot of support workers don't realise how big it is.
Because I think social media has kind of glamorised it as well.
Oh, yeah, go for a coffee, love.
Coffee and everything. They don't see the making up the beds, making sure the laundry is getting...
They don't see the meltdown that happened for 2 hours before you got out. and you're grateful for that cup of coffee that's in front of you now because you've just been through hell.
Talking about that, I've got a full thermos, so yeah. But I do have activities planned after this as well, and that's a
not
big
too
one.
much coffee.
Well, so that's what's happening in your world and your rant.
So institutions, yes. I mean, it depends on what you and how you want to look at it and how you want to define institution.
And I think you being cranky is justified in that you are fighting for these people and fighting the same battles again.
And quite often we fight very hard for someone and then we don't get the result that we're chasing because the NDIS have got their own little internal rules and the planners have to stand by those rules because they don't want to lose their $85,000 a year job. And I mean, you can understand that everyone's got to live.
Exactly.
But, you know, and then we have participants go, oh, well, you didn't do a good enough job, and they go and find a yes person and walk away from you. And like I said to my colleague, don't take it personally. It's
again,
just the way
support workers, LHCs, community nurses, again, don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Again, as well. And
you can't take it personally. It's just, you just got to roll with it. And what happens is what happens, and every day is a different day, and you just go into every day with a smile on your dial, and you hope that it's okay. And some days are shit, I'll be honest, and some days are good. That's just how it is.
When I was working in a big retail store in a major shopping centre, I heard the best phrase from the pharmacist in charge that has stayed with me. That remember, some days you were the pigeon, some days you were the pigeon, other days you were the statue.
Yeah.
And that has stayed with me as well. And the other one that stayed with me, and I've realised that Dr. Jordan Peterson, Simon Melachek, Brene Brown all talk about this, is that aim at something. It might be getting out of bed that day, it might be making sure the washing is done, it might be something really small. I know Dr. Peterson's controversial, because everyone's saying, oh, it's very old-fashioned advice. It's old-fashioned because it works. But aim at something.
Just have a goal, just one thing. Get up, make your bed. Make your bed, and that's a start. I know when I went through a really big period of depression, that just even getting out of bed was a struggle. Just to get out of bed. I just wanted to stay in bed in my big dark hole for as long as I could. I didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't want to do anything, and I lost a whole month because I don't even remember that month, to be honest. It was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
And people go through that every day.
And that's,
just one foot in front of the other.
Mental health is health. Also, I need to do a very important PSA that on the 27th of this month, which is what we're in... July.
Oh, sorry, was that November?
No, July.
Feels like.
Okay, very, very important one to this. This is actually is that there is a test of the national emergency siren on all mobile phones. So all mobile phones. So if you have someone who has a hidden phone is at risk, get them to turn it off or to have it out of the house as well. And if you have someone who reacts to loud noises, warn them about it as well. So our national emergency beacon is for, say, if there was a man-made event or bushfire or weather event, it just goes off to let you know.
Because Australia never has any of those.
This is why they're doing it. And then you would literally turn on ABC, whether it be ABC radio on your app, radio or TV, to listen to what to do next as well. That's also where my good manifestation joke comes in, but I don't think it's appropriate to do that one.
Okay.
Or do you want me to...
No, that's all right.
Because it's G-rated. Do you want me to do it?
Oh, gosh.
I think... No, you have heard that one, haven't you?
Oh, no, you go. You go for it.
I don't think it's appropriate.
Oh, okay.
I've made that internal decision going, no. But we will do a Patreon one with the joke that I talked about as well. I think I actually have done it on their manifestation episode.
Oh, probably.
As well.
I'm sure you did, actually.
I think we did. So check out the We Needed to Let Off Steam episode. We also did it with the communication episode now, I think about it.
Yeah.
And also now...
Excuse me.
We will finish up fairly soon.
Oh.
Because I can see you're freezing.
I'm cold. I don't know whether it's part of getting old.
I don't know.
I'm getting very old. Another month and I hit one of those really big birthdays and I'm just like,
Are we
my
getting
goodness.
you a ruby, a diamond or a sapphire?
I'll just get all three and be done with it.
That's not what I was asking, but...
I know.
But I need to say that my work is going really, really well. And I'm doing the, again, Dr. Peterson thing of, okay, it's going well, so where can I level up? And so doing some online training, asking for my training gaps to be addressed at work when people have got a few minutes as well. And we even, and guys, yes, we do remember our regulars. We had someone get their dream job yesterday, and we were squealing with delight for them. So we celebrate the wins with you. So
Absolutely.
again, I've just realised I've had this huge responsibility moment of realising that I am mantle of safety for others. I am their mantle of safety as well. And bus training is going really well. However, it nearly took, a year to get me to this point.
And that's okay. That's
where
okay.
poor long-suffering Barb and my team, we had to get me into a solid routine. We had to make sure I had a bag that would not spill its contents everywhere. That I wasn't carting everything that I thought I needed for the day. Just everything you need for the day as well. And we're going to get one of our team to do a blog post of what you should have in a day service bag, day centre bag. And ask the day centre if you can have the bag there. It might be kept in the office
I think
or whatever.
they should have lockers. They should have lockers for people.
Yeah. And then reading a timetable, having the app to my phone. The biggest barrier was having the appropriate bus pass for up here. However, I realised looking back I could have used cash. But me and cash are kind of not friends in that if it's in my wallet, I will spend it.
And that applies to a lot of people as well, me included. Cash is not good. But then again, we've got people with cards that just go ping, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
I believe the younger generation call it the tap and pray stage. And that's actually now becoming a
tap and pray.
A maths issue in that kids aren't seeing their parents handle money, and so teaching price versus value is becoming really hard.
Value is very, very difficult. Everyone can look at a coin and see a number 2 and go, that's a $2. But how does that $2, because it's smaller than the $1,
which is really weird in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. How does that work? And a 50 cent's the biggest one. And it's like, well, and then the value of things and whether you get change or not and how you can tell the value. And grocery shopping, I remember when I was with the social group, grocery shopping with them was very interesting. And we would go and we would talk about the value and we would talk about...
Laughing at something off camera, not on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah. And we talk about how, on the shelves in the supermarkets, those things at basically arm height level where you would, just put your hand out and pick it up, are the most expensive. And you go up or down, and then you work out.
Oh, guys, we've got a Model T going past. Sorry, distracted.
Oh, yes.
But no, price.
With the case on the back too strapped down.
I know. We'll have to do like a episode where we show you what's happening in our world, and it's going to be we'll have to put some signs up where we record. But no, and the things that I hide are the most expensive, and brands actually pay to be on that shelf. It's called the growth transfer.
Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. Absolutely. And grocery shopping's a real trap, it's the whole thing of, putting the milk in the back corner and all of that kind of stuff. People just want milk, but by the time they come out, they got $40 worth of stuff they didn't realise they needed.
Hence why I take Bob or one of my team with me.
Yes, that's right. I always go by the list.
We agree because I shop at Aldi and it's snow week, and so we agree anything over $30 I discuss with parental units as well. Also, talking about money, malicious compliance, okay? There's an oldie in my life who, when they were paying rates, the rates were 102 cents.
Yes.
She went to a museum, was able to get the 2 cents. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we can't accept them, they're not in circulation. And she's like, just because they're not in circulation, it's legal tender.
Yeah, why are you still putting it on the invoice?
It should have been rounded up. Oh, pardon me. That's my coffee. And that's not a hardship. I'm just to myself here.
Oh my God, thank God we're in the park. Seriously.
Oh, guys,
I don't know.
We are not a professional operation.
Dress them up, can't you? Can't take them anywhere.
I know. But work is going really well, and looking back, I could have had the 50 cents in my wallet and have that labelled bus money, but then would I have had the confidence to hop on the bus with the 50 cents every time and stuff? Also, guys, we need to address something, and this is quite a fun thing. Do you know it marks you as a Queenslander if you thank the bus driver when you're getting off? I've never realised
I thought you just always did it.
Exactly. It's a politeness thing, and also I think it has become more prevalent because we have a law in Australia where it's on public transport due to a very sad case, Daniel Morgan. It's called No Child Left Behind, and it is a safety issue that even adults just thank the bus driver, let them know that they're getting off as well.
Yes.
And again, mental safety. Is it kind of weird that I have the bus driver on a Monday morning when he generally knows I have a day off will beep at me and see if I'm hopping on?
Yeah.
That is your mental safety.
They get used to who they generally pick up. And it's the same when I used to drive taxis. You get used to people's routines, people going to hop on the bus on a certain day, people going to the hairdresser a certain day, doctor's appointments, things like that.
Bowls, lawn bowls.
Yeah, bowling, the regular things that they do. And you do get used to that. And there are people that keep an eye out for you. And you may not even realise it.
And we have something in Australia called the Curtin Grandma. Oh, they are the best neighbourhood group in Doris.
Good old Dory.
What we're saying for our international is the retired grandma who knows everyone's timetable.
Yeah.
Bit nosy, but first person to notice it. So-and-so down the street that brought home the new baby and will be at the door with a casserole, doing the laundry, doing the vacuuming.
Yeah, giving them a hand. That's right. Or they're people that are not able to get out. Yeah. And, that's their thing. They watch what's happening around them because that's their outlet.
It is. And, guys, I'm seeing it on TikTok. A lot of people who are going, well, why do they have to be so alone and stuff like that? And literally doing in the informal taking them places that they've never been. Essentially, well, these people might be separated from their own grandparents and taking them out, whatever.
Yeah. Or they don't have any family. Like, you know, they may never have had
might be
a wife or
military
children
or whatever.
or, you know, husband or whatever, and they don't have any family, or they've moved from somewhere for work or something. And, you know, even as I was talking to someone the other day.
May have died or passed on.
But I was talking to someone the other day, a 40-year-old, and she said, do you know how hard it is to make friends at 40?
Yeah.
Especially when you move into a town. And the thing is...
And unfortunately, our town is very cliquey.
It can be, very cliquey. And I found that too.
There's a lot of groups that are open.
Yeah, I found that too. But if I wasn't working when I got here, that's where most of my friends have come from, is my work. Because when you haven't grown up in a town and you don't have that school community of people that you came through school with that are now in the town, and you run into every now and then and say, oh, g'day, you know, you're recognising them from school or wherever. If you've moved into a town, and there is so much movement around now, people get very isolated, and younger people as well, because...
It is, and the isolation
how do
is
you
a
meet
big...
people now, you know?
Well,
what's
shout out to Toowoomba City Library, who's doing Vickies and board games. They're doing a jigsaw swap. They have a Lego club. They're doing school holidays. Like, I haven't checked out, but they do something every school holidays, like a scavenger hunt or a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
They've also got mums and bubs. However, dads are welcome. And yeah, mums and bubs apparently mark us as Australian. We call it mums and bubs, but dads are welcome as well. It's just what we say.
It's finding those little social groups, and that's the same with our people with disabilities. And I think, unfortunately, for our people with disabilities, they end up being just the day program, just the SIL, just the bowling, where everybody else is, you know, in the disability league. You know, where's the social groups with the other people, like people that are standard people that are, you know, just socialising with them. Like, you know, it's like yourself. Like, if you weren't doing your sewing, like your quilting stuff, I mean, you wouldn't know that group of people.
No.
You know, and they're not people with disabilities. They're just people that do that have an interest in that activity. And that's the thing, is to find those other outlets and work on that, because the more our people with disabilities are out there, the more they are accepted for who they are and not what they have.
Yes, and I've just seen our time warning come through as well. This is our 15-minute warning as well.
Okay, yes. Well, I've got a tribunal meeting today, so I've got to go and get prepared for that.
And final thoughts. So you're looking at taking on another support coordinator. So is your books open, closed?
Absolutely, we're always open. I find it very difficult, and Dave does too, very difficult to say no to someone that we know needs a hand.
And so your Busy Bee support coordination?
Yes.
Is your training name?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, the other places you can find me is YouTube, Annie's Escapades, Patreon as Andrea Lund as well, and blogger Annie in Wonderland. We are all working towards having it all under the one brand. And guys, please, again, if you're listening on Spotify, please become a follower, like, share, subscribe, comment as well. And guys, we'd love to hear your comments from an international perspective as well. We have a very international audience as well, and again, we don't feed the trolls. We love to hear alternative points of view, but yeah, we just don't have the time to feed the trolls.
No.
So guys, we'll go and get into the warm.
So yeah.
Stop it. Do you want to stop that one?
That one?